What's up, guys? Sub-Zero here, and I am covering the final game of the mid-season Invitational in TFT. We have an insanely stacked final lobby, double 61 Flancy, Relic, YFTX, Doopy. We are watching Titles POV, our most recent world champion, Malala from NA, and then Chushi from China. So this is the final game. Going into this, I think 6 people are in check here. Honestly, you guys don't care. I mean, you care, but you don't care that much. The person who wins this game is going to win the tournament, and I don't know who is not in contention. It's just like a couple of people. I think almost everyone. Interesting start already. We have this Bruiser Olaf that Title's going to opt to not pick up. I feel like this is already kind of a crazy play. Because I think most people rate Bruiser Olaf as one of the best headliners in the game. It also opens you up into playing into Olaf reroll, but it looks like Title's just not really interested in that, which is crazy to me. He could have a Titans on this Olaf and play for like an Olaf reroll setup here, which is quite wild. And Gifts from the Fallen is quite mid early. None of these augments are actually that good in the stats, except for the Gloves one. The Gloves one tends to do very well in the stats. It's going to be a little awkward to play around it, but I think we can definitely make it work. We pick up a Guardian Tarek here, which is another really solid early sort of like frontline unit, but we don't actually have a way of sort of like getting it onto our board. So Title is going to go for that TG slam onto the Lilia and feel this pair of twitches. We have this bow open, so we could look to potentially play towards like a Twin Terror setup, but we need the Twin Terror for that to actually be the case. Okay, I'm going to stop pretending like I don't know what he plays this game, because Title plays a pretty cool comp this game. It's a comp that I've seen people talk about. I've heard legends of. Also, I really wonder if he does build a Garen. I really wonder because it's a big bet if you if you make this Garen, you kind of have to win streak or you're going to be super broke. But it is onto a Sunfire Garen, so it's very nice. But this is a comp that I've heard a lot of people talk about. Wajan Iverson made a tweet about it. It's this vertical executioner comp here where you play around 6 executioner, and Title knows that he has to win this game, so it's a comp that caps out high enough. It's a comp that, you know, with this double twitch we can actually potentially play for streak. It's kind of wild how much damage just these twitches are doing, and then boom, there's twitch 2, and I think at this point Title locks in and says, I'm going to play around Executioner this game. I'm either going to play this Executioner reroll comp, or I am going to play for Twin Terror if I'm just a big high roller. He also looks at something the bow on the Twitch, and he's really sort of not sure if he wants to do that or not. If you slam the bow here, it's got to stay on the Twitch, at least for the medium term. You can use the remover that we have to get it off later, so you're not going to have to sell the Twitch, which is kind of nice, but, you know, still you do lose it. He also opts to pre-level here to 5, just going, this man has 0 gold. He's not going to be able to even make 10 next round, right? Unless he barely fields anything. With double bow open here and thinking that we're going to play towards Executioner, I'd assume you pick up the LW attached to this. Yep, you're going to take the LW on the Pantheon here. Could even be I mean, imagine we get Pantheon 2 here and we're just 0 gold here. Could be very funny. Ends up finding a headliner Country Katarina, which is a pretty interesting unit to play around here. But it makes sense, right? This is going to allow him to keep Country reroll in his repertoire of comps that he could potentially play, and he's trying to figure out what his strongest board is. He's going to opt to play this Pantheon for now, but 0 gold at 2-5. I feel like this is such a crazy game already from Title, because so many people, I think, would tell you, if you're making 0, if you have not made 10 gold yet by 2-5, your game is just looking to be an 8th. But the upside in Title's position is he has made all of these upgrades so far. He gets a fantastic country shop. Okay, how do you even navigate this shop? Yeah, I think he's going to have to get out of this Garen and end up selling the Garen, but what do you even opt to hold on to here? Just the Amumu pair, and then you don't care about the Urgot, perhaps, is the way you might, but the Urgot's so nice. I don't know. This is such an interesting shop to navigate here. But yeah, I think a lot of people would say this is a country game from this position. There's actually like sort of an idea, I think, from a lot of strong players these days that this version might actually be stronger than Country Reroll. A lot of people think Country Reroll is a very strong version of Executioners to play around, but I think Title, especially from the way that he's playing out this early game, opted to not hold on to that Urgot, thinks that Country Reroll is not actually the strongest version of the comp. The other thing is that with this TG, with Executioners, that synergy is really nice. It reminds me of, what were they called? It was the synergy in the past. It was like Kaisa and Vayne, where they would like dash and their spells could crit. I forgot what that was called. Someone in YouTube chat will tell me, and I'll use this to farm engagement. I'm not doing it on purpose, for real, but comment down below, because I cannot remember what it's called for the life of me. But in a similar way, that comp was really good with TG type augments because when you put TG on a unit, they get crit. It used to be 40%, which is why it was so broken in those comps, but it's still 20% nowadays and 20% crit. When your spells can crit, when crit is really good synergy, a good stat on your units, is really, really nice. So we're gonna make 30 gold here. We have our streak, which is what's really important. If we lose our streak, we are doomed. Speaking of TGs, we get this Radiant TG item, which could be interesting, though I'm not sure how we're actually gonna make use of it if we take it. You need a good unit to put it on. I would probably feel much better about taking something like a stationary support, especially considering that our front line is going to be quite weak. I don't really know how you can make What the Forge work. This augment's interesting, but I don't really see it work. Oh my god, Endless Hordes? Wait, I did not look at his augments. I don't know if he takes Endless Hordes here, but Endless Hordes, the stats on it look god-awful. The stats look horrible on it, but Endless Hordes has really good synergy with TGs because you can put, like, TGs doesn't count as a full, you can put TG on the unit. Sadly, we're not going to get to see this Endless Hordes TG game. We are just going to get to see a Radiant TG slammed on one of our units, which still a fantastic item, still exactly the same as... and this has synergy... The other reason to take this, which I didn't even shout out, but I believe this counts as a TG for the TG augment that we have, so you're going to get those stats. So, I mean, it's a fantastic take here. Endless Hordes would have been super fun to see, but I think he's just going to take the solid augment. Nothing too woke here. We're playing with money and bragging rights on the line, so yeah. Gonna use his punk reroll there, and I think this is something that we saw. I forget what the player was that we reviewed, but this is very similar to what we saw from them, where you use punk to fuel your rerolls, right? We're just going to use punk to slowly get upgrades, get this Amumu 2-star, potentially find Vex and stuff like that. And using punk to get those upgrades will allow us to slowly transition into this Executioner board, get those upgrades while still staying really strong. And then I don't know if we're actually going to play punk on the final board because it could theoretically fit. It's probably not going to end up getting played because I don't think it's that relevant. I don't know. With the glove open, I think we definitely like to go for an IE. We already have Last Whisper, so Evan Shroud isn't really an idea. We could just go for another glove here, which can be another TG for this augment. So I think that's probably what we want here. Also, I didn't speak to it, but the portal is Prismatic Finale. So he's going to move this TG over to Poppy, and I mean, best case scenario, obviously, is we hit Lucky Loves as our final augment here. If we hit Lucky Loves, this game is just wraps. Fighting almost looks like a Yasuo reroll player, but they have no Yasuos and no HP, and I don't know, maybe they have gold. Their spot looks absolutely doomed. This is like win trade. I don't know. They look like their spot is absolutely doomed, but that's all good. He's going to take his free reroll there, like I was talking about, and continue to just use those free rerolls to try to position himself in a spot where he can pick up Samiras, pick up Vexes, and then once he gets to, level 7, like 4-1, 4-2, then he can look for a better headliner and end up probably getting out of Punk. But we'll see. It's going to be really interesting when he decides to get out of Punk. I'm sorry, my nose is itchy. I'm not pulling a YBY1 and picking my nose and eating it, but my nose is very itchy for some reason. I am not sure why. In any case, 95 HP, end out the stage. Like, great early game, all things considered. The only problem is we're a bit broke, right? Level 6, 57 gold here is not rich by any means. We've put a lot of our gold into looking for these rolls, and we really haven't found much from it, right? We have the Amumu pair, we have the Poppy pair, and Poppy 2 could be great on this board, but we really need to start finding some of these units, or else we will be in big trouble. We're going to go to 7 here, use our free reroll, and we're going to sit on this board a little bit longer. Yeah, he says that he can't actually sell out of this Katarina yet. Gargoyles, as I've heard, is a fantastic item in this comp because oftentimes you're going to be looking to solo frontline something like a Amumu. Also, I just looked over at this person. Malala is also playing right now in Twin Terror. So how do we end up actually getting into this? I'm pretty sure we end up playing this comp, but Malala's taking all of these units out of the pool. We're playing this comp contested. We have 1 Vex to work with. Okay, no. Yeah, I mean, you can't really take that there. Ooh, and Jeweled Lotus looks so nice here. That's finally a beautiful shop here. And we pick up the Vex. We get this Alawi in, and we've actually sold our headliner at this point, so we kind of need to find an extra headliner to play. But yeah, we have 5 Twitches. I mean, Jeweled Lotus so fantastic in this comp because all these units are going to benefit from the crit chance. It also activates the part of I mean, I guess it's fine. It's good. It's crit is good on these units. So yeah, nothing nothing wrong with that whatsoever. I was gonna say, like, if we build like an IE or a JG or something, it activates that part that gives us the extra crit chance, but I don't think we're ever gonna end up building that because it's a little bit hard. But I mean, yeah, crit chance on units is good. Still no headliner to play. Wow, I'm really impressed by Title's discipline to not roll in a spot like this. I think once he saw that he has the Poppy 2, and also I think with his understanding of how strong this comp is, he's realized that he doesn't need to roll here, because this comp is probably legitimately broken. We're probably a few days out from this comp being like one of the default comps that people are forcing. Honestly, high key, maybe I hop on after this VOD review and start forcing this on stream, because like I'm pretty sure, I mean, I don't know, we'll see how the game goes, but I'm pretty sure this comp is severely underplayed for how strong it is. But we'll see. I mean, he also has a very good spot for it. But yeah, like we're very contested in this line, so it's gonna be interesting to see how it evolves. I would think you would just finish one of your tank items here. Warmugs would be solid. He goes for Glove here for Guardbreaker, I guess. I don't really think Hodge is anything. He hits Executioner Samira finally, which is, of course, a fantastic pickup when you want to play around this comp. And he's looking at potentially moving the LW over. But I think he wants to keep the option open of not necessarily having to move that LW over, because if you hit Twitch, you kind of need to play for it. And woo, he moved items. Were those items not on a Mumu? They were, right? They're on a Mumu 1, but he said, there's no chance of finding a Mumu this game. I'm just going to move these items to Pantheon and play for Pantheon 3. Wow. Really, really cool stuff. I hear all the time that a Mumu is like the preferred tank in this comp, but I think he realizes that Malala has too many Amumus out of the pool, so it's actually going to be like really, really hard for him to get there. Now he's going to move items over to the Samira, but yeah, he's not going to end up... Wait, how did he use the duplicator? Because didn't he just sell Twitch? Wait, can I go back? I'm losing my mind. And we had 6 Twitches. He used the not duplicator, but yeah, he sold this Twitch and moved items over. Oh, he used the remover. How far ago did we use this remover? Okay, I should probably just... We used it here to transition our board. I don't know. It's probably talking about something else and got sidetracked off of the remover. Yeah, he used the remover here to move the TG. Oh, to the Vex. Yeah, I saw him. I literally saw him. Okay, I'm sorry. I was like losing my mind. I was like, what happened to this remover? In any case, now we have items onto the Samira. We have 4 Executioner in. We have Poppy, who's a fantastic tank. We have this Pantheon who we're looking to potentially 3-star. And yeah, he's keeping track with Malala and realizing that, yeah, he had like 4 Pantheons there, I think. Not enough to for this to actually be a huge issue for us. So we can go for Pantheon 3 as our main tank instead of a Mumu, because I guess perhaps he had more Mumus. And yeah, this Chushi player is just dead at 4-6. I mean, I've seen people die sooner, so not the end of the world. But yeah, like, look, we can... Oh, let's go back and pause for a second just to take in what Malala's spot is on this scout here. 3 Amumus here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Vexes. Poppy paired. It's actually a very similar setup, actually. I mean, this is more the Twin Terror setup because he has Twin Terror, of course. But he's playing around Vex. Not even really playing around Twitch as much. He's really just primary carrying Vex here with this front line. But yeah, I think the idea with 4-5 now Amumus, we expect that it's going to be very hard for us to hit a Mumu 3 this game. So we're just going to try to go for the Samira and then use Pantheon as our main tank. And I mean, look how healthy we are. 75 HP. It kind of seems like these Executioner units are high-key broken because I feel like we should not be this healthy. We get another Mumu here, actually, which is pretty nice. Always take the glove item, seems to be the rule of thumb when you're playing this comp. More Vexes being taken out of the pool. There's 6 out now on Malala's board here. So how are we going to actually get there? We pick up a Samira here. We pick up a Karthus as well. I think a lot of people, when they talk about this comp, talk about the 6 Executioner version. But, you know, we're going to have to get to an Akali and then cut a lot of our frontline if we want to play that. So it's going to be very hard. Here is our saving grace. Malala dies here. He ends up too low because we contested him, because we saved enough HP. We waited for Malala to die, and now all these units are back in the pool. Look at all these Vexes we got now. Wow. I mean, this is like S tier playing contested TFT. He saw that Malala was in a scary spot. He said, you know what? I'm just going to wait for Malala to die. Now that he's dead, I can hit all of these units. I don't need to roll. Like, you notice he's 50 gold here, right? Normally, you would definitely be rolling in a spot like this. But he sees that, you know, Malala's about to die. Wait for all those units to be put back in the pool. He saved so much HP early, and Malala looks like probably like lost streaked early to be in such a low HP situation here. And so now he gets the ability to play for max cap here. And he moves back into the Amumu. He used the Pantheon just to save HP for a few rounds and now moves back into the Amumu. So cool. I'm really curious if he ever decides to get into this the 6 Executioner version, because this is what I've heard everybody talking about. 6 Executioners is just so much. You would have to cut the Alawi is the really like difficult thing. I don't know if we're into cutting the Alawi, because Alawi is Alawi. But yeah, item off carousel here. I think we have another tank. Yeah, we have another tank slot open on a Mumu. He's using a Deathblade though for Twitch. Wow. Okay. I'm shocked about that. I would have definitely thought we would have picked up a third tank item there, but I guess he says maybe similar to when we watched another player play this comp. I forget who it was. But he sort of says that tank items are fake. That like all that matters in this comp is just one-shotting the front line. Whoa, 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 whoa! I think we're making the pivot. This is a really surprising pivot, though. He pivots into 5 Executioners. He definitely wanted to get 6 in here this round. This is a little sloppy, actually, from the World Champion title, because we're going to play a much weaker board than we should be here. Our board got weaker on that cell there, for sure. But the nice thing is we have this HP buffer, so we can play 5 Executioner for a round. But yeah, I would assume he definitely wants to get this Karthus in. I don't see why we'd want to play 5 Executioner here. Finally hits the Twitch 3. How are we going to do this? I assume you're just going to sell... I mean, I was thinking Alawi, then you lose Masher. He's going to play 5 Executioner for another round. Really? This is the board that he wants to play. I can't understand why we would want to play 5 Executioner for a couple of rounds over that Amumu. I mean, obviously the Amumu wasn't doing a ton, but it feels like we've made our board artificially weaker here. Maybe the title's just messing around, even though this could be the last game if he wins it. But yeah, maybe he's just like, yeah, whatever. I'll mess around a little bit. I'm too high HP in this spot. I need to end a couple of rounds. But yeah, I can't imagine this Akali's better than an Amumu too. The nice thing is that he got to move the items over to Set. I think he thought that Set is a better tank. But still, I don't know. I don't know. We're gonna go 8 here, get the 6 Executioner in. So that's the idea. He doesn't want to sell any of these units. He just wants to play 6 Executioner on 8, which makes a lot of sense. He's gonna roll down here, picks up Akali. He has one off everything here, which is pretty brutal. Yeah. And he has this duplicator, right? He's kind of not playing with his food, but he's saying, I don't want to use this duplicator and finish my units because I really want to hit both. I want to hit Samira and the Vex here. So I'm going to greed. I'm 30 HP. My board's quite strong. If I fight anyone but this stupid Yone player, I mean, honestly, this matchup tends to be pretty good, but with no Samira 3, it's quite scary. But now the Samira 3, the Vex 3, he's even going to roll once for the greedy roll to see if maybe he can just hit this and then not have to worry about it. He's looking at potentially moving the Radiant TG. I really like these items, though. I would not move this Radiant TG. If anything, I'd move the TG on Alawi over to Akali, but she's also rolled incredible items here, so I don't think you can do that this round. But yeah, we finally hit the board. 6 Executioners. He managed to push 8 and play 6 Executioners, so now we can play a bit better of a front line. He's playing this Poppy plus this Set here, and then the Alawi to finish out the front line. So he ends up playing the Alawi the entire game, but yeah, 6 Executioners with these TGs and these crit items is going to blow up any front line. All we have to deal with now is YFTX, who's another player that, yeah, if he wins the lobby for sure. I didn't catch exactly which board YFTX was. Oh, he's the Yone board. Okay. The nice thing, the really good thing for us is that our board should do quite well into this Yone board. What a close fight, by the way. This board tends to do very well into Yone boards because, at least the Twin Terror version does well into Yone boards because of the CC from Vex. It's a little scary when you play this matchup specifically, I would think, because your front line is quite weak. He's going to go for just a JG here to finish out just the best last item on Twitch that he could get. It's not amazing. It's pretty terrible because you're just getting a little bit of extra crit, some AP and some other crit, but like, you know, I don't know. I still like finishing out tank items, but it looks like he just does not, once again, doesn't care about tank items whatsoever. We're going to clump all of our carries on this side, which is nice. If we can get a Vex CC, which we do there, and then Samira can retarget, we'll be in a really good spot. But oh my god, he gets a cast off, gets to our back line. We're not dead yet, but it's going to go down to one more fight between Tidal and YFTX here. Picks up the Karthus too. He's going to move the Radiant TG over to Akali. Says that, okay, it's going to be better on her because of the crit chance onto her and maybe rolling good items. It rolls very solid items, the Sunfire, the Radiant Sunfire, and the Deathblade here. And he's just trying to position everyone, all of his tanks in front of his carries. I don't know if this Vex ult's going to hit the Yasuo, but the Yone, but oh my god, the Samira targets the Yone immediately, and it is a dub for Tidal. And with this win, he does win the tournament. World champion into MSI champion. What a run, and showing off a really, really cool reroll comp that I think is like right on the come up. I think not everyone's playing this right now, but if you wait a few days, a week, you are going to see everybody playing this comp. So hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please like, comment, subscribe, check my Twitch and all my other links down below. Thanks for watching.